I tell you what, it's really, really exciting, folks, and it's been a while, a long while, but it's nice to be back with another episode of Mouse Talk. This is Mouse Talk, episode 91. Yep, we actually had 90 other podcasts before this one for the week of January 16, 2019. Mouse Talk, a bi-weekly podcast where we give you up-to-date Disney news from Walt Disney World, and we sprinkle in the other Disney parks from around the world. Well, hello everyone, I'm Walt.
I'm Melissa.
And we are back with another episode of Mouse Talk. It's been a while.
Long while.
It really has. Almost a year to the date. We were looking at our previous...
I guess about 10 months.
Yeah, we were looking at our previous episodes and we were like, man, it's really time to get back into the podcast side of things. And it's a little bit of a different format as to how we're doing it now. In the past, it would be something you could find on iTunes, but we're going to do it a little different. We're going to post it more on YouTube.
Right.
So not a lot of video stuff to look at, but it's all about the podcasting side of it. So it should be a good time. It'll be something unique and different, I think.
Well, no, it's the same. It's just on YouTube.
Exactly. Well, unique in that way. You know what I mean.
I'm not sure they do.
They're going to find out really soon. But before we get started, like we always do, we're going to talk about our mousekeeping. We do live streams on YouTube every Tuesdays and Thursdays. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Yep, we do have an Instagram. Not a lot on there, but we do have it.
Still figuring that out.
Yep, but we do have a really good Facebook page and a great Twitter page as well. We do a lot on those pages. We also have merchandise as well. So if you're looking for a cool Mouse Talk t-shirt, check out the description below for sizes and colors. We have a lot of different things. We have a Mouse Talk, Mouse Madness shirt, a 3 for Thursday shirt. They're a lot of fun. So if you're looking for one,
follow the link on Spreadshirt and it'll take you to our shop.
Yep. And finally, if you'd like to support our channel and help us make our videos better with better content, there is a link also in the description below to do that. Any support is never expected, but always much appreciated.
Of course.
Yep. And with that, let's get right into today's podcast. And how we do it here, for anybody who's new, and it's been a while, we kind of do it in 3 different increments of how we do it. We start out with our In the News section. That's where we kind of get into some of the real major news around Disney World and the other parks. And then from there, we get into the Around the Park section.
Right. So In the News might be new things that have come out that are going on in the parks, breaking news, things like that. Sometimes more exciting than others.
Yep.
But that's definitely our purpose.
Yeah, and in the Around the Park section is going to be about specifically the parks. Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, Epcot, Disneyland, Disney California Adventure, certain events, special events, happenings that are going on in those specific parks.
Right.
And we'll do sprinkle in some fun stuff at the end before we finish up.
Yep.
So let's get right into the In the News section.
All right. So, hey, Mickey ice cream bars now available outside the parks from select grocers. So everyone's favorite Disney snack will soon be available at a grocery store near you. Disney and Nestle have teamed up to bring Mickey premium ice cream bars to the public via a limited edition grocery line. Each box will have 6 Mickey ice cream bars in it, but are scaled down from what you'd normally see at the parks. They're only going to be about 3 ounces each. The box of 6 will cost $7.49. Expect them to be rolled out to supermarkets across the country soon.
Yeah, I thought this was really kind of a neat story because I think for the longest time everybody was hoping that the bars would be something you could get other than just in the parks, and now you have that opportunity. They haven't really said specifically what grocery store is going to have them. Is it going to be Walmart? Is it going to be, maybe your local grocery store? We don't know yet. They haven't really said.
Publix, if it's Florida, most likely.
Yeah, but I know this is something that a lot of the folks have been clamoring for years, and Disney has always been kind of tight-lipped with stuff like that, keeping it close to the vest.
I'm not so sure. I'm kind of torn about this because part of the reason I think it's special is because you can only get them in Disney parks.
Oh, I agree.
I think that's a little bit of the nostalgia, why I like to get them. They remind me very much of Dove bars, the ice cream bars, which, in the price tag's about the same, maybe a little bit more. So it definitely is a hefty price tag, but thinking of Disney, I guess that's about right. But for me personally, maybe it would be nice if they're up here, kind of make you think of Disney, but part of me just likes having it in the park and being able to get it when you're there. So I don't know if I'm thrilled about this or not. Yeah,
no, it makes sense. I agree. There's something unique about being able to get certain foods that you normally wouldn't get at home. So I agree with you absolutely on that. Our second news story
All right. Well, a third parking garage is coming to Disney Springs. Now, Disney Springs is going to be adding this third parking garage, and it is scheduled to open in February of this year. The garage will be called the Grapefruit Garage and will provide additional parking for both guests and cast members to access the highly popular Disney retail area.
Yep, and they need this. I think, as we've seen from the times that we went down there. Now, we went down during the day on the last trip, and it wasn't too busy. It seemed like there were plenty of parking spots. But those spots fill up fast. And this area is becoming more and more popular. Don't you agree?
Oh, yeah. So I know they have the orange garage, the lime garage. Now the grapefruit. Are they going to have the lemon garage next? I mean, that's really one of the only, or tangerine. No. What are some other citrus fruits, I guess?
I have no idea. I don't eat fruit.
You are a fruit.
Nice. But this is something I think that they understand, that they can't build necessarily out for parking, so go up.
Well, I think it's smart. And I think the garages work well. I like how they empty out into specific areas right within Disney Springs.
Yep.
You don't have to walk super far like you would from an actual, parking lot. You come right down, you walk right into, the shopping district. And you can pick which garage is closest to where you want to shop if you know it that well. I know for us right now, I'm just clueless. We step off, I'm like, okay,
where am I? Yep. It's true. But it's going to be well received, I think. I think it'll definitely be used. I don't know if this will be the last one either. I think they might add a fourth one down the road, especially if they feel that the capacity is being tested.
Oh, God. Well, Disney Springs is amazing. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine it going down in
Right.
popularity. So, I mean, I think it's an amazing place to be. So
Yeah.
people want to be there.
Yep, and I think with the whole 2019 and 2020 and 2021 coming,
Oh, gosh.
with all the stuff that's coming, that they understand that capacity and crowds are going to really be at an influx and be higher than what they might normally get. This is going to help that, I think.
Sure.
Yep. So there you go, folks. That's our in the news section. So let's get to our around the park section. Again, this is where we talk about some of the happenings, events, or things that are going on at each and every one of the individual parks in the continental U.S. And we'll start out at Animal Kingdom. And hey up, fans. Great news. Disney has announced that Kevin will be appearing at Animal Kingdom in February 2019. Now, Disney wasn't specific as to whether this would be a meet and greet or if she's being added to the Up a Great Bird Adventure show. But either way, it'll be fun to see Kevin in the park as Up's presence in Animal Kingdom grows.
Yeah, definitely. I kind of hope it's a meet and greet.
Me too.
Although I would like to see her in the show as well. It'd be nice if they could incorporate her there because it is a bird show. They do have Kevin and Doug. So I think it was appropriate when we were watching a lot of the vlogs. I'm like, well, where's Kevin?
Right,
So
no, that's true.
I think there would be a good presence in both areas. But I think it would be fun, and I think it's great that they're bringing her.
Yeah, I agree. I hope for both, really.
Yeah,
I would be
me too.
really happy if she's both a meet and greet and in the show. I'm more partial to the meet and greet because you have that
Yeah,
interaction.
of course.
But it makes sense to bring her to the show as well.
Right.
She'll fit right in. Like you said, she's a bird. It just makes perfect sense.
Right.
So, but if you include her in the show, Kevin doesn't talk.
Right.
And Doug and Russell do. So how do you incorporate her into the show is what is kind of interesting to me if they're going to go that route.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, I guess they could kind of introduce her and have something to do with, the scouts thing. I have no idea. I'm sure they could figure out something creative. So.
They can, absolutely. So that's great news. I'm really glad Kevin's being brought into the parks. Also, speaking of Animal Kingdom, tickets are now on sale for Disney's After Hours event that's coming to Animal Kingdom. Ice cream, popcorn, and select beverages will be included in the admission price of $125 for advance purchase and $129 for the day of purchase. Available dates are January 22nd and 31st, February 5th, 6th, 12th, 13th, 19th, and 26th, and March 5th, 20th, and 27th, and finally April 3rd.
Right.
So there you go. So Disney's After Hours events is now coming to Animal Kingdom as well. That's pretty cool.
And I think it's a good thing because they do have the nighttime side of the park now, so it's not a bad thing. I know these have been very popular in Magic Kingdom, so it's good that they're expanding to see what that's going to bring. So, of course, Avatar Land will be open. I did read that, so it's a great time, to get those multiple rides on Flight of Passage. If that's something you're looking to do, there should be very little wait, so you should be able to ride things multiple times. So it may be a win-win.
Yep, I agree. And it seems like they're adding more and more dates to these after-hours events because when we first started talking about these, First off, we weren't sure we were even on with this.
Right.
On page with this. Or on board with it. Yep. We weren't sure about it. But the more we saw it, the more we saw what you got from it and what the parks looked like, we understood that maybe it's worth a one-day park ticket because of how much you could probably get done.
Right. And I know they said that you can enter in this particular park with this after-hours pass. They'll let you in starting at 7 p.m.
Well, even better.
So, yeah. So you actually get to go in while people are still in the park, so you can do some things. Maybe grab a bite to eat then, not worry about the ride so much. Maybe go on some of the animal treks that are still open, maybe while there's some still, I don't know if there'll be a lot of daylight, but maybe as the spring comes on and the light gets light later, you might be able to do that and then focus on all the rides once everybody else leaves the park. So I think instead of paying for that, all-day ticket, you can probably get more done. It's a little more expensive than probably a regular day ticket, but you're going to get a lot more out of it.
I agree. I totally agree.
Plus, you get some free snacks, so what the heck?
Yep, I agree. And again, it seems pricey at $125 or $129 day of, but I think the value is there for what you can get done in 3 hours that you may not be able to get done in a full day because there's basically no lines.
And do it multiple times.
Yeah, absolutely. So, right on, right off, right on, right off.
What is it? Maybe $20 more, if that, than a regular day park ticket. I mean, I think it's probably at least $110, right? For a day ticket at least.
Yep.
So, I mean, if you can get that much accomplished in less time, what's the difference? If you're getting more done, I think it may be a better experience because you're not dealing with the crowds, the stress, the standing around, wasting your time. Who knows?
Yep, I agree. Now, as for refurbishments over Animal Kingdom, what do we have?
Cali River Rapids is down right now and will be down through late March of this year, which it usually is. It's a little cooler, so that's when they tend to refurb this water ride.
That makes sense. Let's move over to Magic Kingdom. Now, over at Magic Kingdom, Disney has now removed part of the Tomorrowland Speedway track as part of the Tron construction. Of course, the ride is down, and we'll get to that in a minute as well. So as you walk through Tomorrowland, be sure to take a look at the construction because you can see it. You'll see the track being pulled up. You'll see the scrims up and the walls up. But if you look really closely, you'll see that track has been pulled up.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is. It actually is. Now, Disney plans to reopen the Speedway on May 18, 2019, which is kind of interesting that they expect to get that part done pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's fast. For Disney, especially.
Yeah, that's true. They tend to take a little bit of time with this kind of stuff. But I think they understand their time frame that Tron has to be done by 2021.
Oh, sure.
They have a date. Not whenever.
Right.
They understand it's got to be done by 2021 for the anniversary, the 50th. So they're gonna push for sure. But I just thought it was interesting that it would be the Speedway would be back up by then. I'm also interested to see any kind of updates they do to the Speedway.
Yeah, I'm hoping they do.
Yeah, I think they should really take advantage of this downtime to probably do that as well. So we'll have to keep our eyes open.
Yeah.
Yep. So from there, what do we have for refurbishments at Magic Kingdom?
Of course, as well, most of you probably know, the Walt Disney World Railroad has been down since early December and is down until further notice because of this Tron construction. The Tomorrowland Speedway, as mentioned, is down until May. Peter Pan's Flight is actually going to be down. If it isn't down already, it's going to be going down shortly and is actually down till early February. So they're doing some refurbs there for about a month.
Wow, that's a month. How about that?
Yeah, and Liberty Square Riverboat, has been down, but they haven't come back. It's a to-be-determined restart date on the riverboat, so nothing on that just yet.
And that might actually be back up now, because I've looked into that, and I think that I saw some videos recently, within the last day or so, that the riverboat might be back up.
Interesting.
So let us know in the comments below, folks, if you've seen that the riverboat is back up. We're taping this the week of the 16th of January, so let us know if the riverboat, if you've seen it, because I thought I did. So this might be outdated by Disney, so they need to update that.
I know, no kidding, because this was from the Disney site,
right?
The Disney travel agent site, and I just looked this up like yesterday. So,
Anywho, now moving over to Epcot, we have some good stuff over there as well. Now, Illuminations has a dining package that's coming to Epcot. A new dining package has been announced for the final year of Illuminations Reflections of Earth. The dining package opens January 17th for seating from January 18th at the UK's Rose and Crown. Pricing is $85 for adults and $35 for children, and the package includes seating on the lagoon side patio from 8 p.m. and a 3-course prefix menu and a view of Illuminations. That's kind of nice. Disney still hasn't announced the exact closing date for Illuminations just yet, so stay tuned for more details as they become available.
Yeah, and did they give us any indication of what the menu's going to include for the show?
I don't think they did. They may have. I didn't see a specific menu on the prefix. Again, folks, if you know what that menu is, I really would like for you to leave a comment and leave us something in the comments below. But I didn't see anything on the menu.
Well, the Rose and Crown is one that I've wanted to try. And
Yes.
It's actually nice. Although it kind of made me kind of go, because I know they're getting rid of the show. So it's like, why they're doing this now. But I guess just to kind of give people that final, maybe
Hurrah.
it's a good way to enjoy maybe your final viewing if you're going down this year. So I think take full advantage of it if you're looking for a dining experience and a good showing of Illuminations.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a good idea, especially for those that love Illuminations, and there's a lot of people that love Illuminations. Mm-hmm. And they're really upset that it's going away.
Sure.
So this might be a good way, like you said, to experience it a little bit different than what you're normally going to experience it.
Right.
Get a little bit of a VIP there, although you're paying for it.
Sure, but any, sit-down dinner, I think that's about right for the price. And if you're getting, if most of the prefix meals, I know you're usually getting an appetizer, entree, and dessert, and usually a non-alcoholic beverage. So, that's not so bad. You're getting a nice sit-down restaurant in Epcot.
Yeah.
So, it's not horrible.
No, with
it could be a
select
lot
seating.
worse.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I would do it. I would do it for sure.
I agree. Also over at Epcot, the pass holder gifts and discounts are returning for the 2019 Epcot International Festival of the Arts. Now, Disney continues to offer pass holders exclusive merchandise and extras during their festivals, and this year's International Festival of the Arts is no exception. This year, Disney will be giving free Figment magnets to pass holders and can be obtained at either Mouse Gear or Port of Entry with a valid annual pass card or ID. So you have to have one or the other with you, folks. If you don't have it, they're not going to give you the free magnet.
Sure.
Now, the pass holder exclusive merchandise will include a T-shirt and coaster set featuring Mickey Mouse, a pin featuring Pluto, and an exclusive Figment cookie available for purchase at Taste Track.
Neat.
Annual pass holders also get a 10% discount on dining packages for the Disney on Broadway concert series during the festival, and a 20% discount on dining packages at Beer Garden and Coral Reef for lunch and dinner through January 31st.
Well, that's nice, and I think pass holders should get an advantage. Sometimes I wish they had more stuff like this for Disney Vacation Club. I know when they have
too.
Moonlight Magic, they have merchandise for them, but it's the only time that we get that, so I'm looking forward to the day when we are annual pass holders and we can take advantage of some of this.
And you never know, that might come down the road, not to get off the subject, but for DVC, that might happen down the road at some point if the demand is there for it. With annual pass holders, they definitely see and understand the demand there and how important those people are. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm not salty or anything about that.
No.
I think they deserve it. I think it's great.
Yeah, me too. I think these are all fantastic.
Yeah.
And I love the idea of the magnet. I want to be a pass holder just to get a magnet.
Well, I love that it's Figment stuff too. I like Figment a lot, so I think that's cool. I want a Figment cookie.
Yep. Now, also over at Epcot,
Dates for the Food and Wine Festival have been set. So the 23rd, Epcot International Food and Wine Festival is going to run from August 30th to November 12th this year. The earlier start date was a big success last year, so they have decided to do it again this year, of course. More information to come in shows in the future.
Yep. This is something that we're seeing more and more, and we always joke about this, and I think everybody jokes about it. It's the running joke with Epcot. It's the festival park.
Sure.
And
but they're
it
great
is.
festivals, so
No.
they don't bother me.
Absolutely. All four of them, really, if you're going to include, Festival of the Holidays,
Yeah.
are wonderful festivals. So it makes total sense. And Disney just takes advantage of the fact that they're so popular that they make them longer and longer and longer every year. So I'm really excited. I've always loved the Flower and Garden Festival.
too.
I think it's one of my favorites. It is Flower and
is.
Garden, right? No, this is
No,
Food and
Food
Wine.
and
I'm sorry.
Wine already.
But I love Flower and Garden as well.
Yeah.
But Food and Wine was wonderful. We finally did it.
Yeah.
This was our
I'm glad we did.
first time. It's different.
Yeah.
For those that are listening and have not been to either one or have only been to one from the other, Flower and Garden is more laid back. It's more relaxed. It's fun. Take in the scenery. Look at the beautiful flowers. Food and Wine feels like a party.
Right. I think you're right.
It kind of does. It feels like a party.
It gets very crowded certain times of the day because people are there, for that food experience. And to be honest, I know most people have said to me they really prefer food and wine. I think I prefer flower and garden.
We're old.
Yeah, then it's always the crowds that kind of, but I just really love the way they decorate the park with all the flowers, and it's just beautiful. And it just puts me in a relaxed, happy mood. I like the butterfly garden. I like all the topiaries they put up. I think it's phenomenal. And you get the food. So I don't know. And again, we've talked about wanting to do the Festival of the Arts. I know a lot of people are like, but it's early. I think it's only in their third year.
Yeah.
So they're going to expand with that too. And I think it'll get bigger and better. So more power to them.
Yep. So food and wine, they've already got the date set. So if you're going to be down there anywhere from August 30th to November 12th, be sure to check it out. I do recommend it. I think it's very nice.
They're all great.
They do a wonderful job with it. The food is wonderful. And we're not big drinkers. That's part of it for me. I think that's why part of the appeal for food and wine isn't as big as it is for flower and garden for me.
Probably me too. Yeah.
So that might be part of it. But for a lot of folks, they swear by the Food and Wine Festival. They absolutely love it. So be sure to check it out if you're going to be down there.
Absolutely.
Now, there are no refurbishments going on over at Epcot. A lot of construction because there's a lot of changes coming, but no real refurbishment. So that's a plus right now. Absolutely a plus. Now, as for Hollywood Studios, nothing going on.
No, other than them making a whole new park.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, there's a lot going on, but nothing more than you already know.
Right, right. No special events going on right now. There are a few things that will be coming, obviously, later in 2019, and I'm sure we're going to talk about that a ton as we get even closer. There's actually a lot coming to Hollywood Studios. It's funny, I did a video a few weeks back on this. I think 2019 is the Hollywood Studios year.
Oh, of course.
There's going to be a lot coming to Hollywood Studios in 2019. But as of right now, no real special events are going on. And no refurbishments either, which is kind of nice. Not that you can really have many.
No, there's
not much
left
over there, right? But more will be coming.
Yeah.
Now, as we head out west, there is something at Disneyland.
Yeah, so Ballast Point is actually going to be the first ever brewery to open in the downtown Disney district at the Disneyland Resort. Say that 5 times fast.
Man, that was a lot.
This is actually going to be a family-friendly eatery. They have 4,000 square feet of restaurant and bar space with an additional 3,000 square feet of outdoor dining.
Wow.
So the rooftop is going to feature festive lighting and a cabana-style seating with views of downtown Disney. It sounds awesome. The brewery is going to offer over 50 styles of beer, and they're creating their own specialty brews too that will be exclusive to this location. The menu is going to include things like Baja fish tacos, a black marlin barbecue flatbread, burgers, as well as gluten-free and vegetarian dishes.
That sounds fantastic. I think this sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think that's big. To have a brewery in Disneyland, whereas for the longest time, they wouldn't allow any kind of alcohol at any of the parks. And they've obviously very much loosened the reins on that.
Sure.
You're seeing it more and more. And this is really, this is game-changing. This is kind of a start of a new era when it comes to this type of stuff. I think the brewery's going to do great.
Oh, I think so too.
Yeah, I think they'll do really well. It sounds like they got a great menu on there, some good stuff, some fun stuff. And they're going to make it family-friendly, which is even better. Because then it doesn't just cater to one specific, I don't want to say the word demographic, but you know what I mean.
Sure.
It's for everybody. Now, maybe after 9 o'clock it becomes more adult-friendly.
Probably.
But anything before then is more family-friendly, which is kind of what they have down at the Edison.
Right.
Makes perfect sense.
It really does.
I'll be interested to see this, and I'm excited by it. I think it's going to be great. Now, as for some refurbs out in Disneyland, we do have some. What do we have?
Well, of course, everything in Disneyland is always to be determined as far as the reopening date. If you remember in our old shows, so Astro Orbiter is down right now. No reopening date yet. Haunted Mansion just going to be down from January 7th to the 17th. So that's actually going to be reopening pretty much in the next day or so once you hear this podcast. And that's because they're changing it from the Christmas setup back to normal.
Right.
So that's the only reason for that. Rancho del Zocalo Restaurante will be down for just a few days, January 14th through the 17th. Again, once you hear our podcast, it'll be pretty much ready to reopen. Sleeping Beauty Castle Walkthrough is going to be down beginning January 17th. Reopening will be determined. It's a Small World is going to be down for refurb January 22nd. Again, no reopening date mentioned just yet. And the sailing ship Columbia, also January 22nd, with a reopening date to be determined.
Now, I will say one thing about the refurb on Sleeping Beauty Castle walkthrough. They already have construction walls up in front of the castle. So your iconic pick in front of the castle, it's not an iconic pick right now.
That stinks.
So that kind of stinks. But the walkthrough needs a refurb. They haven't had one in a while. I was reading about this. So I kind of feel bad for those that might be going to Disneyland for the first time and they can't really get that picture right now. So that's kind of too bad. I wish that they would be able to take that another way. Maybe they will. Maybe that part of it won't be down for long, but I've seen video of it already. I've seen pictures of it already. As of right now, you don't have that iconic view.
I'm almost surprised. You know how like at Walt Disney World where they put Scrim up and the Scrim looks like the building? Why don't they do something like that in front of the castle where it can take on the picture so maybe from a faraway picture it wouldn't look so like, I don't know, stark and like...
Yeah, I understand.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I would think that they would come up with something, unless this is something that really is only going to be a matter of days. I still think that's too bad, because that is the iconic picture.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel really bad for people that are only down there that miss out on that. So, not fun.
So moving over to Disney's California Adventure, again, no real events going on right now. Lots of construction over there, too, because they're building the entire new Marvel land that's coming, because A Bug's Land is gone. A lot of that, but no real events going on at the moment. But again, a lot of stuff coming. But there are some refurbishments going on over at Disney's California Adventure. What are those?
All right. So World of Color is down right now, and we haven't heard anything about that coming back anytime super soon. Grizzly River Run went down January 7th with a to-be-determined reopening date, as well as the Golden Zephyr, and that's down as of January 27th. And again, waiting on a reopening date.
Yep. So there you go. That's our Around the Parks section as we talk about all the different happenings and events going on around the parks. And now we're going to move on to some of the funner things. Although I think it's all fun. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, funner's not a word, is it?
Funner.
The more fun things. But we're going to move on to our This Date in Disney History. This is really cool. Melissa came up with this. I think this is fantastic. Some really unique, fun stuff. What do you have, Mel?
Yeah, so I thought this was kind of neat. January 1959 is when the Dapper Dans premiered at Disneyland.
Wow.
They're actually going to be celebrating their 60th anniversary this year.
They got to do something for that.
Yeah.
Right?
I would hope so.
Something.
I had no idea they'd have been around that long. But yeah, it was actually in Disneyland where they premiered in January 1959.
How about that?
January 1975, both Space Mountain and the Carousel of Progress had their debut in the Magic Kingdom.
How about that?
Yeah. January 1987, Star Tours opens at Disney, and it's their first modern flight simulator ride.
Yes, I knew that. And there aren't very many simulator rides at Walt Disney World.
No.
As a matter of fact, and again, everybody can correct me if I'm wrong, but other than this ride, and I guess you consider Flight of Passage that's it.
What about that spaceship? Not Spaceship Earth, but the other one.
Mission
Epcot.
Space? No, that's
a simulator.
No, that's not. Well,
it kind of is.
It kind of is, I guess.
Yeah. But other than that, there are other.
I didn't think there were any. Now I'm up to like 12.
That's 3. You're silly. And then January 1994 is when Disney's first marathon took place with actually less than 6,000 participants. And now they have well over 25,000 that participate at their marathons each year. So I thought that was kind of a cool fact.
Yeah.
But little did I know that they opened so many,
things in January.
Yeah, in January, way back when. I don't think they do so much anymore.
No, they try to stay away from January now. But what's funny about some of these things, first and foremost, a lot of people always think that Space Mountain was one of the original rides at the park when Magic Kingdom opened. It wasn't. Didn't come for another 4 years. Another thing is, with the marathon, back then, that was it. That's all Disney had. Now they have like 7 of them.
They had
different ones throughout the year. They do the 5K, the 10K, the half marathon, the full marathon. Like you said, it only had 6 people. Now they have well over 20,000. 6,000 people. It probably felt like 6 people. But 6,000 participants back then. Now,
how many people really want to run a 2 marathon? That's why they had to do the half marathon, the 10K, the 5K.
It's true.
Because then more people will do it.
That's true.
I certainly am not running a marathon or walking one for that matter.
Maybe walking.
Maybe a 10K.
But it's true. Well, that's one of our bucket list things.
Yeah, for sure.
But the marathon has really come a long way. It's so incredibly popular, and I think part of it is because of what they offer you. All the meet and greets you get on it as well, the medallions that you get.
Oh yeah.
You know that you get at the end. Your what do you want to call that? Your
medal.
Your medal. That's the word. I couldn't think of the word. I said medallion. I could have just shortened the medallion. Yeah, it is.
It is.
Yep. But they've really taken it to another level and made it a lot more appealing to do. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh yeah, of course.
So
why
there
do you think
go.
we want to do it?
It's true. It's true. Even if I would do the marathon if for no other reason than be able to walk through the parks,
meet characters.
Darn right. I think it would be fun.
I think it's just neat. Yeah. Cool.
So there you go. That's this date in Disney history. And now we're going to move on to our Did You Know That? This is pretty neat too.
All right. So this is kind of a fun fact. Did you know that the spaghetti scene in Lady and the Tramp almost didn't happen? Walt actually didn't even like the idea of that scene. He wanted the dogs to have human emotions, but he just could not wrap his head around two dogs sharing a romantic spaghetti dinner. I mean, really, because when you think about your dogs and they want to share food, there's no sharing food. There's like growling and that's mine. No, you can't have that. So it just didn't make sense. But he relented after the animator Frank Thomas, wasn't he a baseball player?
He was.
Worked up a rough draft of the scenes. I thought that was kind of funny because that's such an iconic part of the film and everybody thinks it's so sweet and cool and everybody that loves dogs and blah, blah, blah. But I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, it is. It's probably the iconic scene from Lady and the Tramp.
Sure.
Absolutely. It's the scene. And yet that's the scene that almost didn't make it in the movie.
I know.
It's
How
crazy.
funny is that? Bellanotte and...
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's amazing. But there you go. Fun fact. Did you know? And there you go, folks. That is it. That is our show for this week. Now, before we head out, this is probably the most important part of the show to us, and this is where we give special shout-outs. These are shout-outs to those who support us, always there for us. Either they comment on Facebook, they comment on YouTube, Twitter. They're always out there. They're supportive. They're very nice. And we try to get as many people in as we can to just show our support and thank you for you guys supporting and sticking with us.
And this week we chose 3 people only because these people did reach out to us even recently with us being gone so long doing the podcast that just said, hey, you're bringing the podcast back and, we miss it. So just a few names. Brian Eisenhart, we love you and your contribution to everything we do. We so appreciate you. Peter Camage and Mark Friedman, thank you so much for reaching out to us and your messages on Facebook. And everybody out there, we love you. You know who you are, and we appreciate your support. So thanks for being a part of the Mouse Talk family.
Absolutely. And that's it, folks. That's going to do it for this week's show. Please leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you think of the format. Let us know if you like the podcast on YouTube this way, if you liked how we did it. We're open to change. We really are. Not really open. No, I'm just kidding.